Happy solstice, my darlings. I feel like it's been a while. I don't know why, but time and space are so weird. But welcome to Capricorn season. Welcome to the winter or summer solstice, wherever you are on the planet. We're getting into it today. I got my ambitious pants on. All's well. I got my flowers in the frame right over here. Good things. Welcome. Hi, if this is your first time on my channel, welcome. My name is Sarah. I am a mystic, light worker, a spiritual counselor, a quantum healer. My consciousness came from a different time and space and has come down to play Sarah the Avatar and run this beautiful meat suit and help you make sense of a little bit of what's going on the planet right now. My human credentials is I've been in leadership and training teams. I come from corporate and I've been doing this work for over 10 years. So I can't go back into the matrix and go back into a corporate job, but I can help you, my dear leader, navigate a little bit of what's going on, help you kind of unwind yourself from different decisions that you made, forgive yourself, find sovereignty, and help you become the greatest, I don't want to say greatest, but the most authentic version of yourself that you can be. So this is my multidimensional cafe table. I'm so grateful to YouTube. We are transcending time and space and doing it in a really super quantum way. So just watching these videos and being here with me is your first step into multidimensionality, the quantum world. So I'm very, very excited and grateful to be here with you. Please go grab your coffee or tea. We're going to go over some money mindset. We're going to go over the astrology. We're going to talk about the tarot and what cards represent this decan of the astrological wheel that we're kind of stepping into. And this is, when it comes to solstices and equinoxes, this is like God's quarterly. It's kind of like, this is us looking at now until the spring equinox or the autumn, the spring or the autumn equinox, wherever you are on the planet. And that will lead us till March of next year. So we're talking about the quarterly, but also Capricorn season and all things Capricorn. So please go grab your coffee or tea. I'm going to give you this pause. I was really grateful to work. I was the tarot reader for a private event for a birthday party last weekend. And one of the young little light workers that was there that came to my table, he named my smoky quartz. He named it Nasha. And so it's interesting because sometimes when I'm channeling and I'm doing light language, Nasha is an interesting phrasing that comes out. So I'm very, very grateful. If anyone knows anything about the name Nasha, please comment that below. I'd be really fascinated to know. But I'm going to do it as an influencer. Please pause the video. Go grab your coffee or tea. And if you get a good screenshot as you're pausing, please take a picture of it and send it to me. I'm so grateful. So grateful. So let's talk about the astrology first, and we'll kind of get into it from there and see what comes through. As I do these videos and I'm talking directly to you, my guides give me a picture right over here, and then sometimes some past life stuff comes over here. I might do like a super quantum update as to like the way that my view has changed, even in the past like month or so. I'd say 6 weeks, and it's super quantum. It's kind of like, instead of a flat lens, they've given me this like bubble, this like really like pushed out like fly's eye view of things, and it's wild. Super, like it was integrated as effortlessly as breathing. But now sometimes I have to make sure when I'm out in the human world that I kind of like turn it down a little bit, or I'm just very cognizant of my bubbling and just like keeping my thoughts as my own, because we're going into such a telepathic space that it almost feels like it's such a cool like ability to have, but it feels very invasive sometimes, where I'm out and about and I'm like, wow, that's where they are. This is what they're feeling. This is what they're saying. And, it just really can showcase those who have been doing such deep inner work. And there's no judgment, honest to goodness. 2024, and I'm going to have my predictions and an astrology forecast. It's a one-off purchase I created. I'm so grateful for it. For 2024. I will have the link for that below in the video. It's Mercury retrograde right now, so I'm doing like super soft launches. So I'll leave the link for that below. And like I've been saying, everything's really kind of changing for 2024. My rates are changing. My one-on-one sessions, the rate is going up a lot. I honest to goodness thought that everyone was doing quantum multidimensional work in their sessions. So I have to really honor the way that my guides have been speaking to me. Like, they told me to raise my prices last year and I didn't. So I'm doing it now. It's possible not to listen to your guides and let your human have their imposter syndrome, but I'm brazenly walking forward into 2024 with absolutely no questions. No questions. I understand my guides. They talk to me very effortlessly. And when you really learn how to sit and navigate this ridiculously certain uncertainty, it's very helpful to have your, as my healer, has always said, like, chop wood, carry water. It's such a Buddhist phrase. Like, when things are good, chop wood, carry water. When things are bad, chop wood, carry water. Before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. So I'm super excited about what's to come in 2024, but I will put the 2024 astrology. It's going to be kind of extended, long rising sign readings for rising sun and moon, and as well as I will have my guides. I'm going to do a full channel in there as well as to what they want us to know going into 2024. But I highlight some big dates. I highlight the nodes. I highlight Pluto going into Aquarius, where that's falling for each rising sign. You can watch for your rising sun and moon, like I've said, as well as the eclipse season. What else did I put in there? Yes, Pluto transit, some mental health check-ins. The nodes are really affecting us, where the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction is happening for everyone. Jupiter changing signs, Black Moon Lilith changing signs, Pluto going back into Capricorn, what we can expect, eclipse season again, and then we kind of end next year, December 2024, with 3 moon cycles again. So it's another complete switch that's getting flipped. So I'm very, very excited about all the things to come. All right, let's talk about the solstice. Okie dokie. So Capricorn season and the solstice is the same thing. It's when the sun goes into the sign of Capricorn, right over here. And this is the general astrological wheel. Starts with Aries and goes all the way around to Pisces right over here. So you know nothing of astrology. I'm going to move your chair over just a tiny little bit, honey. So you know nothing of astrology. Absolutely nothing. Down here, this is the roots of the tree of your life. There's a cultural family roots where I feel safe in the world. And up here is our public life. Public life. Legacy, public life, career. This house is Sag house, long distance travel, where we want to be seen. Over here in Virgo, this is our daily life, our practical service, what we do every day. This is also relationships on this side of the chart. This is where we want to do things on our own. This is the rising sign over here. That's where we do things alone. So what can we see? We see our money please house is being highlighted right over here. We still have Jupiter and Uranus both retrograde in this house. I really love that when the sun is going into Capricorn, the moon's going into Taurus. It's literally like the sun and the moon are saying, focus on money. Focus on money. Focus on currency. We're going to get into this though, because there's a very intense divide right now. I'm just going to highlight it and call it what it is. Whereas some beings are really thriving, have money coming in effortlessly, money when they sleep, all the great things, entrepreneurship, products, all the things. And then there's another group of people that are really struggling right now to make ends meet. Really struggling. I've seen 2 GoFundMe requests on, my Instagram alone, 2 people that I respect that have put together GoFundMes in the past 24 hours. So I just want to highlight that right now and say that regardless of what bucket you think that you are, we're going to shake that fucker up like a snow globe, and everyone sits at my table right now. Because everything is energy. Everything is energy. So since we've put this very specific mindset onto money, we've given it so much power over us, we have to remind ourselves that money is inside of us. We birthed it as the human beings that created this planet. So we have to really change our mindset. And this is where my leadership capabilities come into play. I love it. I'll give a few tips and tricks for that later on, but I just wanted to say that the sun and the moon are both highlighting this exact trine of like, this is a solid foundation. This is an earth sign. Taurus is a fixed negative earth, and this is cardinal negative earth up here. So We're thinking pentacles. We're really thinking money and paper. We're really thinking about, it's the title of the video. I wanted to be like, mind on my money, on my money, on my mind, but I'm just leaving that there. I'm just leaving that there. So Sun is over here with our Mercury retrograde that is at 1 degree of Capricorn. Right now, as I record it, it is at 3 degrees. It'll be at 1 degree by the time the Sun goes into the sign of Capricorn. So we're not really making big moves. We're not really making big moves. Jupiter and Uranus retrograde in our collective house of money. Things are slow for a lot of people. Things are slow for a lot of businesses. Things are slow for, if the planets are slowing down, let's slow down with it. Let's really slow down with it. And ask yourself, no, they're saying not yet. We'll talk about that in a minute. So the North Node, such a big component to everything that's going on right now. And I really need you to look at this with me. The North Node is in the sign of Aries, our collective I am. North Node in Aries, I am. South Node in Libra, either I balance or we are. This is more of the relationships, and this is the independent. Even within our relationships, we're in a partnership, and we have to continuously speak from I statements. This is my responsibility. This is what makes, this is what makes me happy. This is my role. This is what I bring to the table. And that other person, those other relationships must say, this is what I bring to the table. This is what I'm offering. This is what I can give to you. This is also a lot of what my clients are going through right now, is finding healthy boundaries and really setting healthy boundaries and understanding that if everything is energy, when we look at your life like a boat. And when we have unhealthy boundaries, that's holes in the bottom, or that, we never really sealed up the cracks of the boat. So water's coming in on a regular basis. And we kind of have to, every time we get to the boat, scoop it out, make sure everything's okay, take care of everything. And that's a little bit of a lack mentality. You see what I mean? We can't show up and be like, oh my God, let's go for this boat ride. Everything's great. Every day you wake up and you're like, oh my God, there's this much water. Yesterday was this, but today is only this. If everything is energy, how are your boundaries? Are you showing up depleted to certain things, especially around the holiday time? Are you showing up to events that really drain you? Is it that you go into something that you're like, I have to build myself up and then build myself down for days? I have to deal with, oh my God, this person has so much potential and I love them. Why aren't they doing their inner work? Blah, 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 blah. After they spend time with you, their mind is as clear as a nice summer day. They're just driving around the back shore being like, oh, all my problems are gone. I don't really know why, but it's nice. It's nice. They have no idea that they've done that to you. They have no idea that you're processing for them. They have no idea that they literally just SHIT all over your emotions, all over your boundaries. So check your boundaries, definitely so. That's also what I would love to reference. My guides are saying, and this is something that I've been doing really well, is what from last solstice until now, how much have you grown? I want you to look back, because honestly, I was journaling this morning and my boundaries are one of the biggest things. Please go back and watch my, mental health in 2023, a personal share, and then advice going into the holidays. I wouldn't wish my, intrusive thoughts and the voice, I wouldn't wish that on my enemies, truly. But one thing I recognize is that the more I solidify certain boundaries, it is very uncomfortable. I'm not going to lie to you. It's very uncomfortable to say, hey, yesterday I gave you this, but today no more. Yesterday I gave you this, and today this is what I can offer you. Mercury is retrograde, so I'm trying to be kind to myself within all of my verbal communications and things like that. And it's funny, all the earth signs are in retrograde. So we're being asked astrologically to stop trusting certain systems that kept us safe or leaning on them and step into our own power. North Node in Aries. We also have Chiron retrograde in Aries, which natally Chiron in Aries is a wound to your identity. And so we have a lot of 50, 51-year-olds that are having their Chiron return. When you have your Chiron return, that's your midlife crisis, basically. So we have a significant amount of 50, 51-year-olds, 52-year-olds that are having this complete identity crisis. And you'll find that the divide in that group is either I got to adapt, I have to evolve, I have to change, or there's a significant amount of bitterness that's saying, you kids today and you're dancing on TikTok and you think that you can do this and nobody cares about the planets and the stars. And it's just like, actually, the 9 to 5, we know it to be dead. Like, money isn't real. None of this is real. So we have to really change our mindset about what it is that we're going through. I also have an intuition that I just want to leave this here, that if you are, this is just a prediction of mine personally. So if you are in the category of people that are really struggling, but you've been doing your work, struggling financially, and you've been doing your work, and you would give someone you'd rip apart the last penny that you have and gave the hay penny to the person that's struggling, that you constantly are, tipping appropriately, treating people appropriately, that you pray for people, that you really just do this inner work. I have in my bones, I have this knowing that your magical abundance finds you. It will come. We can't wait for it, or we can't keep pushing it into the future, but we have to act as if now. And something that I've referenced before, and it's one of my favorite type of a mind flips that it doesn't matter what arena I'm discussing, wake up the next day. You meet the love of your life and you went on the best first date and you know it's them, you wake up the next day. I've given you the hundreds of thousands of dollars, or you have your first big sale, your first big thing, you wake up the next day. How does the you that wakes up the next day feel? Usually, and this is something that I really love that Dr. Joe Dispenza speaks of a lot, he did a really great talk on Lewis Howes' The School of Greatness podcast. I will actually put the link below for that because it was very accessible. And Dr. Joe Dispenza has always spoken to the fact that, at his seminars, at his events, when the people do come into their abundance and they come in, all they want to do is give it away. I started this charity. I started this. I tipped everybody $1,000. I did this. I just want to give. And that's what I love about leadership. Tony Robbins, the secret to living is giving. His origin story. So I ask you, my darlings, the ones that maybe are not, that the money hasn't been coming. What will you do when you have it? Aside from taking care of your necessities. This is out of fear. This is out of survival. What would you do? Or if time or money were no object, what would you do? But everyone else on the planet has infinite time and infinite money as well. What would you do? These are exploratory questions for your journal, so definitely take a little bit of that notation. And then I also want to plant a seed because we're in a very giving time of year. What do you have an abundance of? If everything is energy, I want you to list your values, your top 5 values. I've talked about this before. And please make sure that money is on that list of top 5 values. And so money's on that list, Sarah, family, honesty, being of service, processing, healing, whatever it may be. Money's on the list, but I don't have an abundance of it, but I value it a lot. Honesty is on my list. You're an honest person. What if you spent some time walking down Main Street and you complimented every single stranger that you saw, or you complimented the people that you bump into, or you start to send really loving messages to people? That doesn't cost anything, because you see someone that maybe is wearing this really beautiful blouse and they're walking down the street, but maybe they just kind of look like they're stuck in their head, and you compliment that blouse. That person's going to remember when they were putting their clothes on that morning that they were like, oh, this doesn't button the right way. I've put on weight and I'm just, oh. And you clear that. You clear that negative thought. You clear that negative karma for them. That currency is worth more than you could ever imagine. Truly. That currency is worth more than you could ever imagine. So what I'm hearing a lot of you say is, Sarah, this is really, not entitled, but there's a little bit of swears coming at me right now. I'd be like, pardon me. That's nice of you to be able to say that, but I can't, I'm making minimum wage. I'm making minimum wage. So I'm going to tell a quick story of, a coworker and I were showing up to a restaurant shift. I think it was a Friday night, and it might have been a Monday. It might have been a Monday night. And, neither of us are in the best sections. And, I usually go around and I tell everyone like, hey, I hope you make $1,000 tonight. I hope you make $1,000 tonight. I hope you make $1,000 tonight. And so the person, near the end of the night was just like, Sarah, I get what you're saying to me, but I made $100 tonight. I can't live on that. So when you go home and you're washing the world off your face and you have a millionaire's mindset, but you have $100 in your hand, I want you to express gratitude for that $100, because that is a portion of the $1,000. It's part of that $1,000. But if you're not grateful for the part of the $1,000, why would the rest of the $1,000 want to be around you? I'm serious. So you hold that $100. Thank you so much. Thank you to the person who gave this to me. Thank you for your generosity. I'm really going to use this for my freedom. I'm going to use this to better myself. I'm going to have a roof over my head. I'm going to buy food. I'm going to buy organic food. I'm so grateful. Thank you for this blessing. Thank you so much. Then that energy is clear. That energy is beautiful. And so I messaged that girl that night and I told her this story. And I said, you have to be honest with yourself when you're in front of your money and you're saying like, okay, you be aware that, yeah, I might have to call this bill and I might have to tell them, hey, I'm just not afraid of you, but I'm going to pay as soon as I can. I'm going to pay as soon as I can. Because you, day after, with all those buckets of money, you wouldn't be intimidated to call any of your bills and be like, hey, it's going to be a day late. My $500,000 transfer hasn't gone through yet. You wouldn't be in any way intimidated to call National Grid and just be like, hey, it's going to be a day or two late. It's the mindset. It's the vibe. Do you see the difference? Do you see the difference? Please comment below any questions on what you're going through and how you've changed your mindset for money. Literally the end of 2020 going into 2021, I was borderline homeless. I had $2.02 in my bank account and I made it work. So I'm not telling you to do something that I have not been in myself. And then there have been times that I had buckets of money coming in and I was so ungrateful for it and lost it. So I can only speak from I statements. And if you're here at my table, you're a leader, you're working in a very efficient way, you got things to do. So I apologize, that was a little bit of a tangent. We're going to go back to the astrology. Actually, it wasn't. I feel like that was really important for some of you. So things are slow, go slow with them. If your manifestation hasn't been coming in, and this is something that I heard from the Manifestation Babe, she has a really great Instagram account, where if at the end of the day, because I'm divine feminine, and we are divine feminine, divine masculine here. And so, how do I say this? If you're trying to create a very prosperous company for yourself, my divine feminines, and you're in between partners, you're waiting for your divine masculine to find you, he's busy. And he comes in and you meet him and he says, I'm just going to take care of all your bills. You don't have to work a day for the rest of your life. You can just go and, tend to whatever you want to do. Do something because you want to, but I want you working on joy and a calm nervous system. If the company that you're building or the desires that you have or whatever it is that you're trying to make prosper is not slapping, but what I just said is your secret backdoor reality, that's why. That's why. Because God hears everything. The universe. I use God brazenly, so if that's a triggering word, just please insert the universe or the God of your understanding when I say these things. But fully declare what the actual baseline reality is for yourself. Because you can stay in your divine feminine and you can stay in your softness as you're waiting for that to happen. Treat yourself like a queen, have very high expectations, very high standards. You'll know when he's 9 out of 10. You'll know when he's 10 out of 10. But it'll be a more of a creative project. It will be something that, regardless of time or money, this is mission. So if you're on a mission like me, I get it. This is mission. I think we see the difference. So Jupiter is going to go direct on the 30th of the year, and we'll have Mercury also going direct on the 1st of the year. So all day one launches, all of those types of things, all of our New Year's ideas, I don't want to say resolutions, but our declarations for ourselves, they're going to come in so quick, so quick, so quick. North Node is going to be transiting over Chiron. That I don't think is until February. I talk about it in my 2024 astrology forecast and predictions. That's March 5th. We're going to have the North Node conjunct Chiron. So there's going to be like a little bit of a winst coming up in this season, within the solstice season. But right now, what I would really love for us to highlight is, what's the legacy? What's the legacy? What's the compelling vision? You know, we've mentioned Tony Robbins, and, you know, what's the future image for yourself? I want you to think of it and I want you to pitch it. Like an old mentor of mine, she had called it, you know, you get into the elevator and you see in this elevator the fat cat, this, you know, whatever that image is for you. For me, it's this like big old businessman. He's wearing blue, bless his soul, like, but blue pinstripe. It's a tailored suit. It's 3-piece. It's nice. He's wearing brown. He's got the Rolex on, all is well. And you just start to chit chat. And the fat cat is like, I really like you. I want to invest in you. What's your pitch? What's your thing? What's the thing that you want to do? What's the main goal? The big goal. Because I just can write you a check for $100,000 right now. So what is it? What's the pitch? I want you to draft that and I want you to have it in your back pocket. Truly. And that can be another view, another lens of, if time or money were no object, what would I be doing? And normally, 9 times out of 10, when I ask that question, it's like, oh, I'll be traveling, I'll be doing this. I just want to spread joy around the world. I just want to be able to heal anybody that God needs me to heal without worrying about compensation. I don't want to worry anymore. I want peace. I want this. Think of the pitch. Think of what that is. You know, we have Saturn and we have Neptune direct in the sign of Pisces in our house of soul purpose, healing closures and coming home. Again, with Chiron retrograde in Aries over here, as well as these planets over here retrograde. I would say that imposter syndrome can get behind you. I want you to turn Saturn and Pisces away from imposter syndrome to say, you can never do that, to what actually matters. Because if we're making these big decisions out of financial fear, think of the next day. Really, this is mindset. This is the money mindset. And again, I couldn't highlight Lewis Howes Higher, the School of Greatness. It's just one of my incredibly favorite podcasts to listen to. I couldn't highlight that more because there was another one that I was listening to. Actually, a few phrases that I've really loved from some of them is, we have to attach the dopamine to the process, because when we get the thing, the accolade, the thing, again, there's a next day. But what was the one that I really wanted to reference? Is the climb up is actually quite exciting. But once you get to that top level, it's kind of boring. If we take, you know, the psychology of money, I think that was another one that I was listening to. If we take the ego out of it, because if you have infinite time and money, and everyone in your life has infinite time and money, the Rolex is just a watch. The cars turn into just, I want the car that works best for me. I don't care how much it costs. I'm kind of uncomfortable in this little seat. I'd rather it be bougie. I'd rather be cozy. I'd rather be comfy. So really, I'd say decide your why, your values. These are very, very simple declarations. Because again, top 5 values. Money's on there, but money's not really going so well, but being of service is on there. How can you give? What can you give? Because by doing that, by giving, you're telling money, you're telling the universe, hey, these are my top 5 values and you can trust me with it. If everything's energy, energy doesn't like to be stuck. Energy likes to flow. And when it's stuck, it means there's something wrong and you gotta clear it out. I know you're with me. I know you're with me. So let's see. Venus over here in the sign of Scorpio and Mars over here in the sign of Sagittarius. We want to do big things. If you're here with me and you have this leadership mentality, that's precious and very rare. So know that that desire, not everybody has that. Yeah, if you're a leader, it means that you need to have followers to be a leader. It's not an egoic thing. In a very deep meditation that I did a very long time ago when I was just stepping into I'd gone through my Reiki certifications and I was really ready to help lead people and guide people. And I have all of these skill sets and it wasn't egoic. I was like, I want to be on stage. I want to be helpful to, millions of people, to hundreds of thousands of people all over the planet. And I went into this guided meditation and, my visuals go all over the place. And the first thing that God said to me was, there needs to be someone on stage to have an audience. There needs to be an audience to have someone on stage. If you have a desire to be up there, it's because other people have a desire to learn from you and to follow your guidance. So recognize that. Mars and Sag, it can pop off quick. Can definitely pop off quick. Venus and Scorpio, enjoy the darker side of sensuality is all I'll say. Yeah. Our assertive planet wants to be assertive. Our feminine planet wants to be sexy. She wants to be sexy. There's just some interesting vibrations going on over here. And really, this is saying to me, if, this is the money axis, the 2nd and the 8th. So moon went into the 2nd house the day that the sun goes into Capricorn season. So we got mind on the money and the money on the mind. This is when we're moving our possessions. And this is where we move to. Our role at the big table. This is deep transformation too. Scorpio run house. It's like fixed negative water energy. It's still waters run freaking deep over here. And so what I would say, there was an image that I lost. I was chatting too much. Hold on. Visualize in your mind's eye the perfect job, the perfect partner, the perfect whatever they may be. Write it out. Write it out. And look at what you are bringing to the table and nurture all of those things. If it's a partnership or relationship, be like, I'm bringing softness, I'm bringing processing, I'm bringing compassion, I'm a loving person, divine masculine, like I am a provider, I'm a protector, I'm responsible, I want to take care of her, I want to love her, give her the safe bucket for her feminine to blossom. Declare to the universe your role in this, because the universe is listening. Venus over here. The universe is listening. So if they're not here yet, don't in any way try to make those 8 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10 people fit into the box that is very big. Because by looking at what the values are over here, what you're bringing to the table, you recognize how much you actually bring to the table. You recognize how aware you are and how compassionate you are, how telepathic you are, how empathetic you are, how loving and of service you are. You recognize that you have really incredible values and so much to offer. And that the people that maybe were at your table before didn't even realize that there was a table. Didn't even realize that there was a table. This is without judgment. This is vibrational. This is without judgment. This is an energetic understanding. Because if you allow someone at your table that is 8 out of 10, just know that you're their 8 out of 10 as well. And you're preventing them from doing their work. A leadership lens on that one. You have an employee not doing so well. You know you got to let him go. You know you got to fire him. When you fire someone, yes, you're facilitating that downswing, but that starts the upswing. You are holding them, preventing them from doing their work, preventing the upswing. But it's egoic. If an employee is keeping you there, even though they know that you're not the right one there, that's egoic. That's a fear-based mentality. And they're preventing you from growing. Same thing in personal relationships. Same thing in family dynamics. Yes, there is a very biblical, for lack of a better term, attack on the family unit that's going on right now. So doing the work with the root, with the mother, capital M, father with a capital F, doing the work with them is of the utmost importance. If you don't, you'll create, oh my God, you remind me of my father. You remind me of my mother. You look just like that person that really destroyed my life that time, but I trust you because you speak God's language. Just know that you'll repeat those karmic cycles and wind yourself up into that space until you go to the root. If there is narcissistic abuse, if there's verbal abuse, if there's physical abuse, if there is substance abuse, do it in meditation. You can't do it in the one-on-one, but face them in meditation, face them in that sacred space, write the letters, do the things, Mercury retrograde, going back, windshield wiper and back, and really do the work there. Do the inner work there. I wanted to really button it all together and kind of wrap it all together, and I'm trying to think of the right way to do it. Loose boundaries with family. Look at your intention again as far as like winning the lottery or having the abundance, because right now, being in Capricorn season, and I'm going to parlay over into the tarot and kind of give a little bit of a why for this. I feel like there's some father stuff built in, and I feel like there's some mother stuff really built in right here, which is when we kind of look at the equation as to what has built this mental health crisis. The attack on the family unit has left so many beings confused and without a strong safety center. And so we kind of try to go above that and say, I'm going to do it on my own and I'm going to show you. We can't have an I told you so dance. I don't care how old we are. We have to always be doing our work to have a better life. Again, Lewis Howes, the School of Greatness. I think it was the gentleman that wrote The Psychology of Money. When he had talked about, oh my God, I'm going to butcher it. If we change the mindset from I want to have so much so you see me thriving and it's a competitive thing or it's an ego thing, to I just want to have a good life and be able to do good work and to be able to give generously. I don't care who sees it. I don't care who knows about it. I don't need you figured it out. You did it. It becomes very egoic in a self-sacrificial way, and it actually keeps us in that lack mentality a lot longer, instead of releasing mentally that being, that connection, that father type of a being, cuts the ties to that so that we can do the work directly with the energy of money, which is inside of us. See the difference? I've gone kind of quantum on this one, but I feel as though it's slapping. So please comment below. Please like the video if it's really working for you, and comment your questions as well. So again, also Pluto is finally at the 29th degree of Capricorn, which for astrologers they call the anaretic degree or the critical degree. So definitely we are going to be seeing the top-down structures crumbling, showing their devil inside. I'm just going to go over to the tarot next. And we're going to be, as a collective, somewhat like, what just happened? No, I'm fine. Just everything that I've ever learned and known about this human reality and the world that I live in is changed forever. So I'm gonna go home and talk to my wife and children and kind of see, no, I'm not gonna come to work tomorrow. I'm gonna take a day away. No, everything about what I've seen to be real in this reality is just forever changed. That's the Pluto transit. Yeah, that's exciting stuff. So we'll talk about that later. And I talk a significant amount about that in my 2024 astrology forecasts and predictions. I'll put the link to that below. I am going to post this ASAP. It'll all be together. I'm so excited about it. Okay. I'm sorry, it's still the end of Sag season as I'm recording this right now, and Mercury is retrograde. So thank you so much for being patient with me. We're just going to talk about the tarot right now. So, can you see it? Can you see it? This is the Capricorn card. I know. It's the glyph of Saturn in his hand. So this is, can be about material things in this world. This is our 3D matrix that we live in. This is about the pentacles, the money, and stuff like that. But as you can see, the chains that are around their necks, they could remove at any time. At any time. So I want you to kind of think like Neo a little bit, where after he saw everything as just like the lines of like the ones and the zeros and the Morse codes and stuff like that, it's not like he was like, oh, do I have to call my old boss and like tell him I'm not coming to work tomorrow? Like, you know what I mean? Once you see, you can't unsee. It's kind of like once you learn proper form at the gym and you start working with a personal trainer, you cannot unsee improper form. You can't unsee it. It's the same way with the awakening. You can't unsee very unconscious behavior and think like, you just lied? Do you recognize that that's coming back to you tenfold? Okay. My values are different than yours. I see that. So I'm going to parlay over the minor arcana from 2 to 10 represents a specific decan of the astrological wheel. So 0 to 10 degrees of Capricorn. He's balancing. He's having fun over there. It's like the entrepreneur's card. He's, got the infinity symbol, putting together all of those fun little things. And he's like a little like, you can handle everything. One of the most important things about self-sabotage is our fear of success. And I've heard that from so many people before. We're like, no, but what's going to happen when I have hundreds of thousands of people calling me and I won't know what to do? You'll have paper, so you'll hire an assistant. Do it anyways. Yeah. Do it anyways. This is going to be 11 to 20 degrees. This is mastery. But there's 3 pentacles. It takes a team. It takes a village. You don't have to do everything you don't have to learn how to do everything. Continue to do what you're doing and create your basic skill sets. Like for a long time, I floundered in putting together a website. I didn't want to do it. And now I've learned how to put together a very basic website. And I'm really proud of myself. So there are little things that you can do to get to the point that you need to get to. That's okay. But know that as a master of your craft in some capacity, I want to make sure, no, the microphone's still good. The master of your craft, there will be others at your round table. There will be others there. Pluto going into Aquarius, we still need leaders, but it'll be a round table. Not one person at the head making all the decisions. Any CEO will tell you when they get to the tippity top and they're like, oh my God, I'm going to be dead in this chair if I'm working 80 hours a week. They have to delegate and have right-hand men and women. They have to. This card has many meanings. This is 21 to 30 degrees of Capricorn. This card has many meanings over here. And so this is the Capricorn, the Queen of Pentacles. So I want you to be nourishing and nurturing every single penny, with gratitude, every penny, because that penny is a part of the hundreds of $1,000s, the $1 million that's made up of tons of pennies. See what I mean? Totally different mindset. Why are the pennies in the millions different than the pennies in your hand? Take some deep breaths and some water. I know it might sound harsh, but my moon sign is in Capricorn, so I'm going to be vibing this year. It's going to be interesting. I'm not holding back. I know that we're at about 45 minutes right now, but I'm trying to keep this as efficient as I possibly can. This card here, I've had some readers call it he's in financial fear. You know, he thinks his feet are safe, he thinks his chest is safe and his head is safe, but his back is exposed. I've also had readers say that this is a card of protection, that he is setting a solid foundation and his crown is covered and his heart chakra is covered as well. What does that card mean to you? Comment below. Let me know. Let the group know. What does this card mean to you? This is also, because it's 21 degrees, my moon is at 21 degrees of Capricorn. So this is my natal moon card. So for a while, whether it be reversed or straight up, I was like, it means I'm safe, now it means I'm safe. It means I'm safe, now it means I'm safe. It can be just a reminder to check your mindset, check your money mindset. And I pulled 2 cards for the group getting ready for this reading. I just asked, like, what does this community need to see? And these 2 cards came out. So your idea will be successful. It's just odd when you go first in your community, in your friend group, it's odd when you have this complete irrationality to someone else who's like, wait, think you're going to do that? And you're like, yeah, I am. And they're like, but you came from the same place that I did. I'm like, yeah, I'm not competing with you. I want you to have your own thing too. You just have to look inside at all the gross things that you've ever done, process it and let them go, and deal with your mother, your father issues, and move on as the sovereign being of light that you are. Yeah. That's you integrating that and knowing that it's your celebration, knowing that it's your time, knowing. I want to ask my guides, because they're kind of chit-chatting, if they have something. They're asking if you can differentiate between the voices in your head. What is God telling you that's a good idea? And what is your soul saying that's a good idea? And what is your human mind saying they'll judge me for it? Let go of the self-judgments and treat yourself like the best friend that you would cheerlead to the bitter end. They're showing me like a carnival with balloons and fireworks and your kiddos. And, you know, when you had those dreams, look at this new world like the excitement of a child. And what they had said for the channeled message for the new moon is like your mind is a 3D printer. If you want it, you can have it. You just have to like be very, very specific with what you want and why you want it. And why you want it. So, the solstice is give or take like the 21st, 22nd. For where I am, I apologize I did not do the timings in all the places of the planet, but for the Eastern Standard Time, it's happening at 22:28 on the 21st, so very, very close to the 22nd. So the full moon is coming up on the 26th, day after Christmas, if you celebrate that. And this full moon is in the sign of Cancer at 4 degrees, and that same day, Chiron is going direct in the sign of Aries. I've said this before, but my prediction is that if, you're getting together with family dynamics that don't serve you anymore, that you know it, and you actively choose to get together with those people after this Christmas, it's going to be like, I'm done. I have no fight in me for you. and it will feel so uncomfortable vibrationally. This will not be like a brawl. This isn't going to be a fight. I don't see it like irreconcilable differences, but in an amicable, like irreconciliation, basically, kind of like a hug and a handshake, and just be like, I love you, but we can't do this. Our Pangea split, and the ladder that we've kind of bridged across the Pangea, this is the end, and this is where I stand. And I love you. It's so okay to have an equal and opposite life. It's okay that some people have different belief systems. That's their reality. That's okay. There is no judgment in the fifth dimension. There's no judgment in unity consciousness. But if it's just like this, don't do it. Don't do it. And it's going to be a beautiful emotional time, a beautiful emotional hug. A really funny moment is popping into my head it's vulnerable, but I'll share it. So my first ex-fiance, this is when I was unconscious and just making all of the best decisions. When you're in your 20s, you make the best decisions. So my first ex-fiance, we had been separated we had purchased a home together. I was in my early 20s, and we, hadn't been sleeping in the same bed it was about 6 months. And so we were getting together for Christmas Eve. He was an Italian family, and Christmas Eve was a big deal. And I love that version of me. I had no idea what I was doing, but I, put the ring back on just for that day, because he hadn't told anyone in his family what was going on. He's like, just show up and have the moments and blah, 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 blah. His father knew. And I had a great relationship with his father. He was my confirmation sponsor. Bless you, sir. I really hope that you're well in this world. I still pray for you and hope all is well. And so at the end of the night, everything was going on, and it was time for me to leave. And I'm in the garage with the father, bawling like a baby. We're both bawling like babies in each other's arms. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I wish I could keep you. I think I know. I wish I could keep you, but it's not right. Nobody judges you. It's going to be okay, Sarah. It's okay. And it's going to be like that, where so much goodness happened. Like, so much goodness. I don't care how many times the devil was in that room. There was still goodness. There was still laughter. There was still joy. And so that is what I believe to be the full moon vibe. I'm writing this down. So cry it out. Cry it out. Speak from I statements. Be true to your word. Be true to your boundaries. And think of your boundaries, like when you don't say something or you don't say what you want to say, like think of that as just like money depleting from your bank account. If your boundaries and your money are both energy and they're the same thing, do you see what I'm trying to place in your brain? I really feel like it's hitting. My guides are saying it's hitting. I really feel like it's hitting. So if honesty is on your list, that's some of my top 5 values. I wrote them down again today. Honesty, family, money, being of service, and processing or doing the work. Those are my values. And I'm not meant to have children in this world, but I do my work with my family, and I'm a good family member, and I bring something to the table, and I'm a lovely person within that space. Yeah. Is there anything else on the wheel? Again, South Node in Libra. This is all connected. I think I did it. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for you. Please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel. I do introductory videos for the new moons, the full moons, for the seasons, for the months as well. So it really depends on which cycle you follow, whether it be human cycles, whether it be astrological cycles, or if you follow the moon. I try to put as much as I can out onto my social media, onto YouTube as I possibly can as far as my teachings are concerned. I've been starting a new program, which is going to be new moon and full moon workshops for the month of December. I'm putting all of that out for free as my gift to you onto YouTube. So definitely go check out closer to the, the new moon in Sagittarius around the 11th, 12th, 13th. That's what the program is going to be like. When it goes into the workshop, it'll be just on Patreon. So I'll still do my introductory videos, but when you're ready to really deep dive and do the work, that's the place that it's going to be. It's going to be a very accessible $10 a month investment, and that includes all the new moon, all the full moon stuff. So it's just like big workshops that you get basically for $5. So I'm really, really jazzed. I put so much of my heart and so much of my soul into what it is that I'm offering to you. And I'm so grateful for my connection to God. I'm so grateful for my guides and the way that they really share information with me. And I'm so grateful for all of the things that I did when I was unconscious. All of those skill sets have a stage now. So don't just credit your Rocky montage. Don't just credit any of the things or any of the mistakes that you made. It's all for your development. It's all for your development. So let me know how I can best serve you. One-on-one rates are going up intensely in January of 2024. So if you would like to book a one-on-one session, even if we push it into the new year, just know that it'll be at the $140 an hour rate that I have right now. So, and then 80 for a half, I want to say. Yep, that's what it is. I love you so much. I'm so grateful. Happy solstice, happy Christmas, happy New Year, whatever, happy joy, whatever you celebrate. If you celebrate, I extend an absolute loving hug to you across time and space. I love you so much. It's been a wild year. Yeah, so much excitement to come. Full moon's next week. I love you.